Hey, how you guys doing? Okay, let's get into this. Alright, we're good for recording. Okay, let me get my Twitch thing up and running. Oops. Ah, irritates me sometimes when that happens. Okay, boom, there we go. Well, I was thinking about doing a series on Yarrow and how he plays in because he got to be into the U.S. Championship, and I want to kind of learn how he plays because maybe someday we'll be able to someday face him, and maybe we'll get there. So that'd be cool. Okay, Euro's white, and his opponent is black. D4 f6, bishop f5. This is the Trompowsky attack. If you were going to do the London, it'd be here. That's the London system. And then if there you go. Okay, and now we gotta start with this is kind of the London right here. Yeah. Yes. Yes. One sec. I'll leave you guys with this puzzle. So, and then we'll answer the puzzle when I get back. Okay. I'll be right back. Yeah, I had to move some stuff around. I had to help out a little bit. So that was what I was doing, if you wondered. Wasn't putting you guys off. Okay. Well, we'll have to go over this a little bit later, since well, you guys could, if you want to type in kind of the move sequence, you can. Okay, let's get on back to Yarrow. Okay. This is the London system, so this is the Trompowsky classical variation. I haven't really studied the Trompowsky, but I think we should, because it has a lot of similarities with the London system. The only difference is the dark square bishop would be here. The the white dark square bishop would be on f4 instead of g5. So that's the only difference. So if you're wanting like to do a new kind of opening that's similar to the London, the Trompowsky attack's a good one. E takes d4, bishop e7, knight g f3, b6, bishop d3, bishop b7, and everybody's developing, and there's castling perspectives for both sides. And by the way, that's what both sides do. So now everybody's ready for one move for white to get everything ready is knight, bishop, queen here, queen there, queen here, somewhere around. Once these rooks are connected, your operation go. Knight see, he's trying to take advantage of potentially placing a knight here or here. And something like that. And then d6 was played, because if he plays here, this allows for an outposting of the knight. So if knight takes, and this bishop's blocked here, so you wouldn't want to really do that. That's why kind of d6 was played. They're trying to stop his jumping into e5. But they forgot that he has also another point, knight e4. Everything's starting to shift over to the, if you notice, the king side. White's pieces, white only has really, let's see, one piece, theoretically, actually two pieces, that's really on the queen side attacking. This knight, it's going to take it a long time to, let's see, here, here, and there. So at least 3 moves to get to the king side. And this is like potentially one or two moves away. So Yarrow's ahead in his move sequence. Knight d5, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, and e4. Now, potentially, if he wants to go towards a excuse me, a draw, he could trade off the queens right now and head towards a draw. It's really odd he's got a better, if you think about it, structure, but his opponent has a longer king side / queen side pawn structure. Knight e7, and then f4 was played, so he's going for the KO. He's very blessed he's got a knight there, let's just say. Queen h4, queen d2, that guards there. Guards the knight, prepares for the rook maybe left after this bishop gets moved. And now all of Yarrow's pieces are ready for movement. He could play here, or here, and then later on back there. Knight d5, knight takes, pawn takes. So more likely it'd be a bishop takes. And then you have rook there. Potentially you have an idea of here, and I think white's slightly better. He really can't play there because of that. So you'd have to come over here and there, and then you're in a problem now. Now you have an actual mate coming down, but oops, nope, not yet. You have to bring the my bad, I forgot. Yes, you have to bring here and bring that in. So it's a little bit away. So he's bringing on. If you notice, Yaro's pushing the pawns on the queen side. The king side is pretty much neutralized. So the queen side is where he's going to push. Sorry about that. Just needed a little water. Okay, b5. Now there's an attack here and here. So a5 was played, b takes a5, a takes b5, and now there's an opening for a rook if wanted to be played. h3 stops knight infiltration, which would be a pain in the drain. But also, now this point, the dark squared is a weakness, so potentially his opponent could actually implement place a knight on g4, so g3. Bishop is going for. They would have removed the knight by takes and then takes, but then Yaro has a passed pawn, so the queen's stopping this point here. Also preparing later on to get rooks maybe doubled and over or something like that. Queen a8, rook e3, bishop e2, and then he doesn't want to trade off pieces because the more pieces he trades off, the closer it is to a draw. And remember, Yaro has, instead of 2 pawn islands like he used to have, he's got 3, and his opponent only has 2. So endgame favors his opponent. Bishop c6, rook c1, and perhaps preparing to play c5 was an idea there. Then takes, and then takes. Something similar to that, maybe. Queen d8, bishop d3. His opponent's like kind of doesn't know what to do. He's kind of cramped. This knight is really cramping. Doesn't want to, allow an open file like that. Because then now you gotta protect. He's got a protected passer with open file. So I don't know. So queen a8, rook ce1, f8, king h2. Kind of passing the move to see what his opponent's going to do. Queen h8, rook rook from e3 to e2. So, and then boom. Now his opponent has 3 pawn islands, and he's got 3 pawn islands. Now it's okay for him to, in truth, actually go for a endgame. Now would be okay for him. Surprisingly, this or should actually be a draw. But I don't think there's a way of stopping. Maybe there is. It's actually drawn. And then it's a draw. So in theory, that should be a draw. I don't know why his opponent did that. That's losing. That one move lost the game for his opponent if he takes here. And he pushes up. He comes over. He pushes. If he comes up here, he comes up. We get into a Lucinda position. And the queen, and it's game over. And then let's do our mate with our king. Let's cut that off. Let's come down here. Let's bring our king in. King comes up. And mate. And so now I want to show you one of my games I just played like 30 minutes ago. Okay. I'm white, my opponent's black. I did a queen pawn opening. Kind of a different opening that my opponent plays. I go c5. I bring my knight. He takes. Now, it's kind of, he has central control, but not really. Knight gf6. I bring my bishop in. Now I'm attacking. I know he's going to castle kingside. Now I'm attacking. I'm trying to see if I can't set up for a great gift, but it never really pans out. And if he takes here, I know you guys can see that. There's mate, so you can't do that. And this was actually his error that he played, blunder. He lost a piece, and he played there. Then I brought my knight in. Potentially I was thinking about bringing this rook over, but I'm not sure if that's actually okay. And so it liked that. I was wondering about that. What happens now? Oh, we have a check. I kind of do a slight mistake, but and ends up working out because he errors with that move, and then I check. He goes there, and then I play. And actually, he resigned at this point here when I moved up. He resigned here because there's really no way of preventing my attack from happening. So now we'll get into some puzzles. This is an interesting one for sure. Let's see, what do we got here? I think it has something to do with there, so I can get in behind these pawns. It keeps also an eye on the queening square and potentially taking there. Let's see, if we play here, let's say he pushes, we take. That's a weakness. Also, that hangs. So I kind of like that. Trying to see if we take here. He pushes, we push. So just take let's see, one. Snap. Let's see, what do we got? What's the drawback here? I also wanted to do some study, some game study. We're going to go to our analysis mode, and we'll go back to tactics. We'll come in between tactics, but I want to check out our book study. We're going to play as black, and I want to do some French defense play a little bit. Here, and we're going to take a look at. There's actually three main lines. There's the knight, d6, e5, which is, and then takes, and then there's the d3, which actually bishop d3, bishop e3, which is kind of like a gambit line. So let's explore down the linear. There's a couple lines that could be played. This one leads more towards the classic. This is more of the linear line here. Then you have e5, c5, a3. Let me see here. You then can actually play back here. There's usually there's really two lines. There's a5 and b pawn takes, and so there's actually a Fabi game, I believe, that we can play from here. That was versus Wesley So. We'll just take a look at that. There's actually two games. One game is winning for Eric Hansen. There's one that Eric Hansen won against a player. So a4 is there's two games that apply with a4. More drawn than anything. I don't think there's Shows the power of the linear. Takes. And so now Fabi's got a weakness in ace takes G, rook takes G, B5. Now Wesley has two passers, which really makes a big difference. So drawn, everything's drawn so far. Just keeping, there's everything's just maneuvering around, draw. That was a slight inaccurate move. E3, D3. D3 is actually best, or D6, sorry, because then that holds everything and it ends towards a draw. That allows for the this actually is winning. Even the greats even missed every once in a while. Still slightly drawish. That's winning. They both blundered back and then blundered again. B1, actually B1's a blunder, so you need to take here. If rook takes, then you have to kind of keep with your king's close enough to hold. And there's no way of, it's going to end up with a loss. But I just wanted to show you that's how you can use this system here. And so this is the main line, and B takes, and then now you have three. There's like a whole line of these games that you can go over. There's knight E7. Queen C5, 7, which is what Ginger talks about. There's A5, which is what Lenderman played against Fabi. Something similar. This is kind of like a Lenderman game. Let me see if they have it here. No, they don't. But that's one line. Then there's E7. There's some games that go with that. Fabi actually beat Magnus in this move when Magnus played knight E7. Fabi played and actually won. It's 2014, I believe, was the game. Yeah, no, 2012. more locked position. Now the pieces are piling in for white. And they're just jockeying for position. Locking down. It's who can get the attack going, and Fabi needs to get his pieces on the queenside attack, and he's able to coordinate everything. Takes. He's trying to neutralize everything. Now it's all locked. Everything's locked down. He's got his king to the queen side, so if takes here, king takes. I don't know if there's any way of I think it's mainly a draw if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Slightly better for white. I mean black. Oh. And they're both looking towards a draw. Magnus is pushing it, so you got to be careful when you push it. I don't think there's any way to stopping this. Fabi went up a whole piece in that game, so interesting for sure. Then yeah, I think we did a5 already. You have c, which allows for queen to infiltrate in, and there's f4, and then if queen takes, I don't think queen takes is on here, because yeah, e takes, there's a couple games that go with that. Chernoff versus now short. Let's check the one game. 50% of the games actually are won for black, so let's see. I don't know why they show the ones that are. Let's take a look at this game here. And now we're eyeing that. And you have to remember that this move shuts down white's counterplay, but it also locks down, so you have to be really careful when you lock down that you don't set yourself up for a huge onslaught on the king side if you castle like that. So now that's a potential move there. You can actually come back there. Knight takes, and if takes here, then you have that there. And I believe that white has enough to actually hold. I think it still will work out to a draw. Maybe it's slightly better for black, but I think white actually has more pieces. Yeah, it's better for black in that scenario. Excuse me. Sometimes allergies. Allergies are a pain sometimes. And there's a problem with smack you one apiece, so gotta be careful when you black's so much better here. It's like all over but the crying. So that was a really good one to look at. But let's go down with our the main line idea. Queen a4. Then the next, there's really two moves that are going to be your main moves that are the main lines. It's G bishop, Queen b1, g4. There are some sublines which, if you kind of don't want to go into this line here, knight f3 is a subline. Then you have h4. If you kind of want to be a little bit kind of rebellion a little bit and give up a pawn, you have rook b1, which is kind of interesting. Then you also have pawn takes c5, which kind of surrenders the center to black, and I don't know if you want to do that. And then c4 is an interesting move too, but that again surrenders the center again to black. Bishop e3 is actually so much better for black too, because then you can take, and then if pawn takes, you do have potential attack here. So let's go with the main, we'll go with the main line, Queen g4, which then it's attacking g7. So the main move that is usually played is this move, because what you're saying to yourself on King f8 is that you're wanting to tell your opponent, you have a weakness, I can defend my weakness. It's kind of a little scary to do, but you can do it, and that's actually, I believe it's a more drawn position. And the main line is actually queen back. There's knight. If you want to kind of go more towards, an attack, you have knight f3. a2 has been played like 8 times. c4 has been played 8 times. d1, king d1, and h4. Fabi, I believe, played h4 in this line here. Yeah, this is the game that Fabi played, the Lenderman game, and we'll go over it. And this is the one that was just recently played. And I'm not sure if that's actually best in this scenario. Yeah, you kind of, well, yeah, it is best. And then he actually played queen d1, which is best is queen to f4. If queen takes, you're attacking the queen, and when the queen drops back, then you can actually take, win a pawn, and really interesting. But we'll just go through the game. He took the pawn, which He shouldn't have. He should have actually moved and brought in his knight. Kinda, because this is going to be a thorn in his side. There's Taste G. So B. He takes. And then this was the move that shocked everybody. He went for a pawn, which actually was the whatever chance of holding he had was gone. This was actually best. I know, it's like, what? Then you potentially have a knight, and it's more of a, you could still hold because you have 3. He's got 3. But you're under a lot of pressure, so he took there, and then he played knight there. Better would have been here because of this sweet take right there. When he played here, he dropped that pin, that pin, and that pin. It's like pins galore. And then smack. There's nothing really you can do. You're gonna lose. And then you smack. Then the king has to take. And then you come back and you're up a whole piece at that point, a whole knight. So that's kind of where the H idea came from. At this point, there's queen takes C, which is drawn. There's knight D7, which is actually winning. And then there's C6, which is the game that we saw with Lenormand. This one is, we'll go over the one that actually was won for black after H. It's kind of interesting line for sure. You never know what could happen. Yeah, B6 is played. 7, Rook B8, and then what you're doing is you're holding. You're getting prepared. You don't want to stay in a pin. And then black just slowly squeezes because he's got this pawn majority. His king can hide there. It's kind of hard in those positions when you're dealing with 2400 level players to kind of see this, but you know what, they did good. So let's get back to our puzzles. We'll do some more puzzles. Okay, because we did some study on the Winier, and we'll do a little bit every day on that. We'll check the Winier out all the way to the very end. We'll go through the lines, and but then what we'll do is we'll go through each line, like the exchanged, and just get a feel for the ideas in the French. Let's see here. He takes. I guess I'm going to leave this with you. I'll be right back, guys. So just take a look, enjoy, and I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Had something that came up real quick, had to take care of it. But we're back and ready to roll. Okay. Let's do this thing. Okay. Let's see what we got here. See if we play rook takes rook. He's got pawn takes pawn. Rook takes rook, pawn takes pawn, check. If king takes pawn, we have check. Then we can actually come back and snap off the bishop, and then when pawn takes, the bishop would take. And then when queen takes, the actual the bishop could actually come back and block, but I don't know, because then the queen could actually take there. So I'm looking at rook takes, because that's what this opened up here. So it's kind of what I'm looking at right at this moment, guys. Because I don't believe that it's taking with the queen. That's the idea. Queen takes f6, isn't it? Because then there's the bishop move there. So here, there. We can move that he takes with the queen. Then we take, then he takes, and we don't really acquire anything at that point. We've actually lost material. There is bishop takes, pawn takes, king takes. If queen takes, pawn check. Then we have queen to d7 or c7. So I'm not sure if queen takes, rook takes e1 is right, because he has check. Well, we could come back. And if pawn takes, let's see, here, 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 there. Rook takes, pawn takes. And then we could move over. I think we're up in exchange at that. So that'd be gone, that'd be gone. So this would be gone, that'd be gone, that'd be gone. So only thing that'd be left would be this. Yeah, we'd be up a on piece at that point. Well, then we could always just retreat our bishop back at that point. Yeah, I like takes. Now we have to judge, do we take with the king and have that? If we don't, then he can actually take here and we're down material, so we're kind of forced to take at that point. Now we have to decide what's the best to block with. Do we want to block with the light squared bishop or the dark square? If we block with the dark squared bishop, we light squared bishop, we hold this pawn. If we don't, if we block with the dark squared, he wins our pawn. And so, this holds a lot, because even if he tries there, we can play there, so. Oh, we do have a knight. No, if we do the knight. Snap. Yeah, I like the light squared. That's the best. Because if we take a look at the dark squared, he takes here and wins a piece. If the knight comes there, he can actually at that point double up here and win a piece back. So, and we're still okay, but not to the best of our ability, as if we just play there. And if he tries, like doing a rook over here, we actually have bishop check, which is a good move. That takes care of that. So we're Operation Go on there. Sorry about breathing. It's just like let's see here. looking at bishop to excuse me, bishop c5 is interesting. So we can take there, and if rook takes, we play queen takes, bishop takes, pawn, rook up, and we're good. So there's also that, or there is what I'm looking at. I believe potentially that's best, if I'm not mistaken, because if bishop takes here, takes, queen takes, rook takes, check, king, we'll say, moves over here, then we play pawn takes bishop, and we're up on a whole entire piece. Here, pawn takes, queen takes, and then now he moves over there. And then we actually could play check with our bishop. Interesting. So this allows for that, and then after he takes with the rook, then we takes with the bishop, queen takes. Oh, let me see here. Here, there. Yeah, I like more of that. There we go. So hold on, let's take a look to see how we're doing. We'll log out of that. And we'll keep this on, so. Okay, so we're doing good there. So I'm gonna check, see how we were doing. Okay. We have rook takes, rook. Then we have so rook takes rook, bishop takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. So I don't think that's it, because then that would guard that. It might have been better for him just to have retreated, but by taking, I think, in his mind, he thinks that he can actually hold, because I believe that he believes at that point that bishop e4 is the idea there. So take a look. Okay, I just wanted to make sure everything was okay here. Let's see. Hold on, I just gotta make sure everything is running smoothly. Okay, no. So we're good. Okay, puzzle time. It's good water. Water is good. I like water. Okay. So let's see here. It takes rook. Maybe potentially that's the idea. And if we retreat back, he'll push. Then if we take, he's got bishop takes. We might play rook takes, bishop there, queen takes, bishop takes, check. We could potentially, after here, 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 there, there, and then play there. We do have two connected passers, and we trade off the. Yeah, I'm thinking this is it. And then what you're gonna have to do at this point is play queen takes e5, and then trade off the queen. Rook takes. Okay. Why doesn't queen take work? Oh. Okay. It's not miscalculated on that one. Okay. So when the knight came, he came and actually took a pawn. So potentially if we play bit queen here, if we play queen there, it's got a. Well, no, the fork doesn't work. I might try that. Then queen takes, knight takes, rook takes, huh? Why not queen c3? I know, rook takes d4, and then I was looking at that, but the only problem is there. See, if we played here, he's got actually that. But let's see, then bishop takes. I guess that potentially could work. Let's see here. Try to see, is there anything he can do? I don't think so. He'd have to move, and then we just move our bishop. Wow. There we go. Nice find there. So he played, he took the pawn there, so there has to be something behind that move. What are we, what's the drawback behind that? Sometimes it's not about the material, it's about going for the knockout. So let's see if we have any knockout moves. Well, just first let's take a look at the takes. What does he have that? Okay, pawn takes. Pawn takes pawn. Bishop takes pawn, then g5. So he's gonna win a pawn. I mean, he's gonna win back our piece, but we'll be up a pawn. So, but we'll actually be equal at that point. Let me see. Oh, I think I think we'd be equal. Yeah, that'd be an equal game. Because then what would happen is we would probably move our king back. He would takes, and then rook takes. So I don't know if I like that. So maybe if we take first. Trying to see if, let's say we take here. He takes, we take. He takes. We take. see if we take here, he takes there, we move our king back. If he plays that, so be it. We just retreat our bishop. I think we can actually take this, because here, and if he takes there, then we retreat back. Oops, we gotta be careful. Still think we can take at this point. That was my only concern there. Okay, if we play here, he takes, and then we move our king back. I'll leave it to you guys. You guys you gotta help me here. I'm not sure if it's that or that. So we take a look to see which one, because we're so close to 2400 and I don't want to make a mistake by my calculation. So if you guys see it, please put it in from there for me. I'll be right back. So, have you guys decided what it's going to be? What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be bishop g3 or bishop h2? Hey, how you doing, Chess? What do you think, Chess? Do you think it's going to be which one of these? Because he pushed here. We already won a piece. I'll show you what happened. And so now we have to decide. Seems h2. Okay. So if we go h2, if he takes, though, what do we? What? Because we have to figure if he takes on h4. I mean g4. Does that affect us at all? Because I was thinking, I was worried a little bit about if we went g3. I was worried about f4. So I was thinking as well bishop h2, but I'm not sure if because I know he'll take, and then when we move, he'll take again. So he'll have 3 pawns for the piece. Oh, a pretty good pawn chain. Not sure. I think we could always later on, we played here and he took, we moved and he took. We probably could just play our bishop back to g3 and still be okay. True. So we're in agreement on bishop h2 then. Are we all in agreement on that? Because I want to trying to make sure it works. I know that if we play here, he'll actually push, and then when we move, he'll take that way. And like what you're saying, this is actually then closed. Yeah. That seems more, because we really don't want that to actually come into play. Because then takes, I guess he could, well, maybe if he does play there and we take, he takes. I'm trying to see if that maybe bishop g3 actually does work. So if he plays there, we have pawn takes. We don't have to just retreat. He takes there, and then we can always retreat at that point. We still have these 2 pawns that are still good, and this blocks his rook from coming in. This knight's, but it does allow for a bishop takes knight, which eliminates one of our outposted knights, which is very critical in the I believe this is the Dutch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Dutch. I don't really see any continuation. I guess if we play there, he plays there, we move, he takes, we may have bishop g4. That does take scope on that. But then he has queen to h4. That'd be attacking our bishop here. Well, we could then play rook g1. Pretty interesting for sure, but don't know. I don't know if we want to allow this to be opened. Yeah, I was thinking about this, because if we takes, that allows the queen to actually start coming in after we move back. I don't know if we want to allow the queen to come in. Yeah. We'll do this one. I can only do one more, and I'll see if how we do here. We'll do our best, and whatever happens, we have to leave it with that. We'll do our best. I think I've seen sequence like this before in the London. This reminds me of a game that Grandmaster Simon Williams played. If you play here and he plays over, then what you could do is check if he comes up. Let me see. See here, here. Then you can push at that point. Well, no. Because I know that pushing, if we do that, allows these pieces to come here, these three pieces, and it protects the rook and stops this. So, and we sacrifice so much material here that I don't know if let's see. No, we check here first. If he comes up, then we push. So we check here, he comes over. We push. When he plays rook takes, we play rook takes, bishop takes, and then we back rank mate our opponent. There. And then if he comes up, we check. Yep, that's it. Oh, rats. You're kidding me. You're kidding me, really? Whoa. Whoa, that's my fault. Wow. I'm shocked. That's right, though. You're right. Oh, man. Wow. Well, we will do one more. That was my fault there. Oh my word! I don't understand why that doesn't work. That was actually from one of Simon Williams' patterns. I must have missed that there. Okay, let's see if this. I think this does work. Let me see. Oh, okay. I want to check this because I believe is this mate. Oh, oh, it's rat. That's why. That's why. Snap. I missed pattern on my part there. That was right. Yeah. I should have seen. This is such a simple mate. I missed this pawn here. But You were right, Chess, on that one. You were right, Chess. I thought that this move here would actually have worked too, right here, because I remember seeing it. It reminds me of a London system move, but I guess I miscalculated that because of we'd have to take their snap. Because I thought that he would play this actually. Once I thought he'd play over here. This is what I thought. I'd play here. He'd play there. I'd play. Oh wow! I could just play. Oh, you can just do that. Oh, snap! It's another mate there. My idea was actually doing this though. Let's see here. Not that check, but and it's actually a draw at that point. And there's no drat, another miss there. So glad we're going over these, because I'd be ashamed to have missed a mate like that, especially sacrificing everything. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll do one more. We're gonna get this one right. We'll get this one 100% right. Let's see here. But that, I'm so glad we went over that. There was like 2 different mates in there. The Queen H8 though mate was actually, or I think it was H8, yeah, was actually the most forcing, like what you were saying. But if he made a mistake and moved and we did H, that other mate would work as well. So there was actually 2. But he played the first mate line. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see. Okay, from here to here. Okay, he's going to try to come in there. This bishop takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Rook takes. Oh, yeah. So bishop takes knight, pawn takes. Yeah, we do have, if we play there, we do have that. Bishop takes f. Pawn takes f. I don't know if he would take with the rook, because he what level is this? No, he's not going to take with the rook. He's probably wise to that. Oh, this one guy's account is closed. Oh. So this must really be an old game because the account's closed. So bishop takes, pawn takes, then what do we play at that point? I guess we could check. when the king moved, we bring our knight in. That's double attacking the bishop and with the queen. Then if he checked, and we moved over to pin, we could castle actually queenside in that scenario. I want to check something out. Did we lose any castling rights? Just hold on, guys. I just want to make sure we didn't lose. I want to make sure we don't lose any castling rights, because potentially it might be castle queenside after that. After we take here, he takes, we check, we play here, he plays over. We castle queenside, and we may actually win a piece in that scenario. Thinking potentially that might be the sitch. So bishop takes f5, pawn takes f5, check, king moves, knight e5, rook fe8, fe1, castle queenside, and I believe even if he tries d, rook d, or a, d1, we could play knight takes bishop, and then if queen takes, rook takes, and then our rook takes. So I think that's it. What do you guys think? Here, here, there, there. We'll say that rook moves over, then castle queenside. What do you guys think? And then we win. I believe that's right. And then now what we have to do is we have to start with like what we talked about. First the check. Oh, interesting. So we just take the bishop in that scenario. Try to see if there's any drawback. Let's see a check. So he takes, rook slides over. I really don't see anything wrong with just taking. But that was what was concerning me a little bit. The rook movement. It's between these points here. That are there. These 4 points are where the queen can actually go to. Here, safely, for the most part. These are the 4 areas. So if we go bishop queen a6, that's actually the safest spot for it. If you want to be safe and consolidate a little bit, that's one of the safest spots. If we also have queen b5, which is a safe spot too. I don't really prefer this one because that allows for the queen to be attacked, this right here. So I'd probably say there's only 3 points that are adequate, for anything. these two right here, b5 and a3, are most attacking. Oh, yours is c3? Huh. c3 works too. Not sure. I'm actually not sure which one to move to. This is crazy. There's like 4 different points here, 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 and there. This one here does attack 2 things, so well, that is true. There are. I'm wrong. There's 5 points. Forgot about that. Forgot about that point, that point, that point, that point, and that point. C4. What does C4 actually? I'm trying to think. What is it actually do though? I like it. I do like it. No idea. We could just try the most. I know this sounds crazy. The most safest idea would actually be Queen A6. That's. I know that's the craziest move, but in practicality, it does safety our queen. That's an idea. If you want to have like a really safe queen, we just won material, so even if he checks, we can play there. But I don't know. Oh man, this is kind of a A3. Hmm. uh, I know, but if you want to think about safety, that this would actually be your safest one. But for your most attacking, that is true. Hmm. What do you guys think? See, Queen C4. That is a an attacking move. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. This does more of a. But there's also like B3 too. So C4, B3. Well, if he went here, then we took, he'd go there, and we really don't have any checks at that point. Let's give it a shot. Wow. Well, the only difference in the difference in C4 or C3 is that when this check happens, like what you're saying about transferring the knight, this does protect. But that's okay. We'll pick up tomorrow. I appreciate y'all coming, because you know what, we're getting better. I made mistakes on a couple of those, but you guys are doing great. See, we're getting close to winning. It's okay. Hey, D4 is I missed that too. So that was an idea that I needed to work on as well. So don't worry, we're all in progress of learning. Do you guys have any more questions about like move orders or anything? Where to put the queen or anything? Are you guys all good? Is everybody good with everything? How bad is A6? So let's take a look. Pretty bad. So you're right. It was a bad move. So it's a good thing we didn't. We played the two most active moves. It's okay. Hey, our queen's at least safe, so we don't have to worry about her anymore. So is that any more before I log off that you guys have? Any more ideas you want to put out there? All right. Well, thank you. We're going to do this. We'll get back. Remember, it's all about learning. Always a play in the position. Just got to find it. Remember. Always. Sometimes you have to kind of breathe, sit back, breathe, and then look at the problem again, and you'll find it. And you know what? When we find it, we get to do the Hannibal Smith thing. I love it when a plan comes together. Well, guys, remember, as Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus. As I say, God bless, and I'll see you next time on Chess Crunch TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll be on Lord willing. Bye-bye, guys.